because I was in the I'm on AC internet, not so good over here, but I want to say a big shout out to Nevada Nick. No kidding, man. I mean, they rolled out the red carpet coach. I mean, upgraded me to the Nevada Nick tweets. You know, and really took care of the coach this weekend. So, 48 ounce poured out down the palm. I mean, all great stuff. And by the way, your boy Joe over at the roulette table want to say tell Nevada Nick what's up, because when I come Nevada, when I come AC Vegas, always gonna put $20 on red. It always and that's how my weekend's going. So, and I don't know what Nevada Nick is got going on here, but because he's in charge, just so you know. So
it's how it should be. Actually, you got somebody good behind the helm. and obviously too, shout out to Stizz, who obviously just popped in. Stizz starting the season 1-0 Thursday night with his first prop bet. And look, if you bet it, you're feeling good. You went at halftime with a W, so that's how good of a win it was too. If you want to talk about that,
that was nice. That was easy money, I thought. I mean, Tom Brady coming in after a Super Bowl win, over 2.5 touchdown passes. I gave you. I also added to it and said he was going to have one to his homeboy AB Antonio Brown, and that was his third touchdown pass. And like Nevada said, I went to sleep a winner and got a couple extra hours in before work the next day. So everything all good.
Yeah. So speaking of that, let's get into the game. Obviously, Bucks pull out the win late. What a game though to start the season, back and forth game on Thursday night. I said that line to open up at 7.5, ended at 9, and I had said I thought it was going to be closer than people thought. And I didn't like when I saw that line shot up to that. Everybody, I mean, come on, anybody here see somebody that said they liked the Cowboys to win on Thursday? I didn't see. I didn't hear anybody. And what's up? Haven't heard from him in a while. What's going on, Brian Boo Ellis? What's up, buddy?
Here he is.
But yeah, I didn't hear many people saying the Cowboys would win. I thought the Cowboys actually looked pretty good. The defense definitely looked better. And the biggest thing, Dak Prescott looked sharp. I don't think it was the Bucs' best game, 4 turnovers. But ultimately, look, the Cowboys, my opinion, are going to be the team to beat in the NFC East. The defense looked better. Still gave up some points, obviously. And I think the Bucs, it's just early. Some mistakes you got to clean up, and the Bucs will be okay. What do you guys think about the game?
Coach, what do you think?
Yeah, I think it was really, you got to remember, a lot of these guys didn't play preseason game.
Right.
The first time they saw the field, so trying to get the rust off, really part of it. I think you'll see that today in a lot of these games is getting the rust off, because a lot of these big-time starters haven't seen the light of day. So, hopefully guys won't get hurt. Saquon Barkley, who's, by the way, scheduled to play today, going to see some time. So we'll see how that goes, man.
What's going on, Fusco?
Mr. Fusco, my man. Yeah, we'll talk about Zeke a little bit later, but we talked about him Tuesday night a little bit, and Nevada asked me if I would sit Zeke, this coming Thursday night. And I mean, you can't. What are you going to do? He's your first round pick. You got to kind of roll with the punches. Listen, they were going against the number 1 ranked defense against running backs. So, I mean, you had to temper your expectations in week 1. Don't worry about him rolling forward, man. Zeke's the man. As for the Thursday night game, I will say it was the most viewed game since 2015, I believe.
Wow.
The most viewed season opener, rather.
Right.
So that's a good thing. The problem is, moving forward, we all know how Thursday night games are and Monday night games are. They're terrible. So at least we got a nice opener.
Right.
It was a fun game. It was a high-scoring game, exactly what we wanted to see. The Cowboys look great, man. I'll tell you, on paper, just like every year, and I'll preface, as long as Dak stays healthy, I mean, they should run away with that NFC East. I mean, in my opinion, I really do. I think they just overpower every other team in the NFC East, even coaches New York Giants.
Stizz, the one thing I would say, I agree with everything you just said, but once again, and look, I understand that the Bucs are very tough to run against with that defensive line, very up the middle. Sue is a beast, but still, the Cowboys have always had this issue with Garrett and now McCarthy. You got to stick with the run. When Dak throws the ball over 50 times, he's like 2-12. I mean, and he threw it, I think it was 60 times, Stizz.
Wow.
That's not a winning formula for any team, especially the Cowboys. And I know sometimes when you're not running the ball successfully, you can tend to abandon it. And you're probably saying, well, look, they scored all the points they did against a very good Bucs defense. Still, you got to keep trying to run the football. You got to, even if you're not successful, you guys know with me, I'm a big proponent of running the football. And, that's going to be one thing to watch out for with the Cowboys. Obviously I know with those receivers and the weapons, but, you still have Zeke in the backfield. You still got a good line. They're going to need to stay true to the run game and run the football.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I don't think they gave Zeke a chance to be successful in that game, no matter how good that defense was. I mean, we all watched the game. Second and third quarter, you didn't see Zeke catch the ball at all. All he was doing pass blocking. Right. I mean, the guy ended up with, 33 rushing yards and, a handful of receiving yards. Mm-hmm. I mean, which really isn't much. And his long was 11 yards rushing. So, I mean, he really didn't have a whole lot going on.
Right.
I think you got to stick with it. Like you said, I mean, you can't pass the ball 50, 60 times and expect to be successful. And they were in the game pretty much the whole game, right? I mean, they had to lead once. Yeah. And if it wasn't for, missed chip shot field goal, 30-some yarder, and, of course, the missed extra point, I mean, Zerline looked like, he just came out of the closet here,
Yeah.
A little bit
now, it's the same offensive coordinator. They didn't change offensive coordinators. It's still the same guy. So you're going to have the same tendencies again.
Yep. Kellen Moore. And quick note, too, not good news for the Cowboys. Obviously, Zach Martin was out game one. Lyle Collins now, their tackle, just suspended for 5 games. For the I don't know if it was substance or the performance enhancing thing, but yeah, he just got suspended 5 games. So another lineman. Now I guess Martin will be good for game 2, but still, it's like you feel like you're getting Zach Martin back. You're coming off, Cowboys fans, and I'm an Eagles fan. So let's be honest. But you talk to these Cowboys fans, you think they won the Super Bowl now just because they lost the game to the Bucs. Skip Bayless is on their moral win. It was a win. Look. No matter what, they're still 0-1. Are there things to be positive about?
Absolutely.
Because they look better, the defense played better, no doubt. But ultimately, at the end of the day, you're still 0-1. So, but that's not a good thing here in Lyle Collins is going to miss 5 games. Obviously, you know how I am with the offensive line. I believe the game's won up front on both sides of the ball, and that's the most important thing. So not good news for the Cowboys. Now, do you guys want to get into it? We'll go, if you guys are good, we'll go division by division, talk about each division and who we think is going to win it. You guys good with that?
Sure.
Work for you?
Good with me.
Okay, let's start obviously with, all of our favorite division, the good old NFC East. They used to call the least, which I don't think it is this year. I think, the NFC East is much improved this year. I really do. I think all the teams are better. And I honestly think, and I'll say this now, I wouldn't be stunned in this division if any 4 teams won it. I mean, yes, I do think the Cowboys are going to win the division. I do. I hate saying it, but I think any 4 of these teams have the ability to win this division, and that includes the Eagles. I think a lot of people are sleeping on the Eagles, and I think the Eagles are much better than people think. They are not going to only win 3 or 4 games this year. I really see a 7-8 win team, and if everything falls into place, I think the Eagles have a potential to win 9-10 games. But yeah, I think it's going to be. I'll go Cowboys first place, Redskins second place, and then I'm going to go Eagles third, and in the cellar, Coach's Giants.
Wow.
Who, I was really high on going into last year, and I just, and I think Coach understands. I have a lot of questions about that offensive line.
I agree with that. I agree with the offensive line. I don't know that I agree with the Giants being last. I mean, but
who do you got winning division, Coach?
I have the Giants winning the division. I mean, that's like, is the Pope Catholic? I mean, come on, now.
Homer.
Jeez, man, I am a homer.
Listen,
I'm sorry. Let me put my fan eye patch on and look at it like a fan. I want the Giants are going to win. I can't help it. I'm a fan. I'm a Giants fan, and great. The offensive line is crap. Daniel Jones is not the guy. But still, as a fan, I think we might be able to do something. That defense is pretty good special teams, and we'll see what Barkley can maybe take a little pressure off DJ and that offensive line.
Okay. Stizz?
I have to disagree with both of your inceptions on the Eagles and the Giants, unfortunately. I mean, I have no stake in this because I'm just a football fan in general, but – I'm going with the Cowboys. Like I said, earlier on paper, I mean, they should blow this division away as long as Dak stays healthy.
Cowboys win the division.
As long as Dak stays healthy, I think the playmakers they have just are far more superior than the rest of the division. The Eagles, they're young on offense. I just don't know. Jesus.
I don't know about that one.
Yeah, right.
Wait a second here. I mean, in all reality, though, we have not talked about the team in Washington, who I think probably has the best defensive front in all football.
Sure, agreed.
And again, I think they also have the worst quarterback because, honestly, I think Daniel Jones is better than Fitzpatrick because Fitzpatrick, wait a second now, he's probably going to throw 4 touchdowns today and 400 yards. You're going to think the Redskins are going to the Super Bowl. But hopefully on Thursday, he's going to throw 4 picks and 96 yards because we've seen him do it year in and year out. So, No,
consistency is definitely an issue. He's your prototypical backup quarterback. He can come in for that 2 or 3 game stretch, but usually when you put it over the 16 games, look, remember that team when he was with the Bucks and he had that unbelievable September and people were like, oh my God, and then it falls apart. I honestly thought he had a pretty damn good year though last year with the Dolphins. And I wonder if the Dolphins don't switch to Tua, if maybe they don't make the playoffs. Because if you remember in that last game, they made the comeback against the Bills and against the Raiders when they brought Patrick back in and took Tua out, especially that Raiders game. I mean, they almost, he actually won that one. They were looking like they were going to lose, and obviously he brings them back. So we'll have to see. I do think the Cowboys are going to win, and then you brought up the Redskins. I think it's the Cowboys and Redskins. I think they're going to be the 2 teams battling for the division. I think obviously they are the 2 best teams in the division. Now,
look, fellas, the winner of the division was 7-9 last year.
Right.
You know what I mean? So anything can happen.
Yeah, but I think this year, honestly, I think they're all together. One game, I mean, barring injuries and a team falls off the cliff, I think you're looking at 10-8 to 8-10, like
sure.
that from top to bottom. I don't see there's a big gap in that division, and it wouldn't, like you said, any one of those things can be.
And to be honest with you, Coach, it really good. Oh, Jesus Christ, we got every division. We got every division person in here.
I know, yeah.
Harry Trader.
Harry with his Redskins. Get out of here.
It's not the Skins anymore. It's what the fuck.
His last name speaks for himself. Trader. Get out of here.
Yeah, Redskins fan in Eagles country.
I'll be honest, Coach, real quick, is like you said, injuries. I mean, if somehow Saquon could stay healthy after that bad ACL injury, they're in good shape. And if Kenny Galladay can give you something without getting injured most of the year, you got a good shot, man. That's a good 1-2 punch, I'll tell you. And if Danny Dimes, clears up his mistakes, I mean, who knows,
Yeah, no, and look, that was a big factor last year in the NFC East. I know everybody wants to sit there and trash on and call the NFC least, but the Eagles had a ton of injuries. The Cowboys lost their quarterback and a bunch of, almost their whole offensive line. And, even the Giants, you lose Danny Dimes down the stretch. Saquon goes out. And the Redskins had injuries too. So all four teams, and I know injuries are a part of football, but man, the NFC East really was ravaged by injuries last year. So going to be a much better division, in my opinion, this year. Let's jump to the NFC North. I think obviously we're all going to go the same way, I would think, with this one. I mean, this is the Packers division to lose. I think it's the Packers and everybody else. If there's a team, I think that
really Detroit's not. You don't have Detroit making a big turnaround.
I think Dan Campbell's a good talker. I don't know about head coach.
Right. We'll see.
Little surprised about that. I do think he's going to get guys to play hard for him. I'll give him that. And but it's Detroit. I mean, it's the Lions. Mm-hmm. I mean, you're talking about one of the worst organizations, not just in football, in all sports, in my opinion. But I got the Packers winning this division. Obviously, there's any team that could give them a run. Some people might like the Bears, but I don't get starting Dalton. I kind of understand it for this game against the Ravens.
Right. I was going to say, I think it's just this week. Yeah. Because you don't want your rookie starting against, probably the premier sack guy in the league.
Yeah, I think, obviously, Andy Dalton isn't the answer at QB. But, yeah, I think it's going to be the Vikings if anybody's going to push. But, obviously, I got the Packers winning this division. Coach, how about you?
Yeah, I mean, I see that, and I don't think it's going to be even close. I think the Packers are just going to walk away with it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, Stizz?
I'm going to follow up and be a cheesehead. I mean, since Rodgers re-signed, I mean, we talked about it earlier. Me and Nevada, put a couple ducats on Green Bay winning the whole thing. We got some good odds on it, so I'm going to ride that train. And I just think Rodgers is back, and MVP last year. Now he's got something new to prove this year. You know what I mean? Let's go out and win this trophy.
Yeah, and I agree with Brian. I think there's a plan. I think they might start Dalton next week, but week 3 he has back-to-back games, and I can't remember who it is, but they're not great teams, not good defenses. So you give him 2 straight weeks where he can get comfortable.
I think Detroit is one of those games. Detroit,
we'll see. But I agree with Brian 100%. I do think by week 3 or 4 at the very latest, we will see Justin Fields at QB. Basically, Andy Dalton is just a placeholder. And look, a lot of people thought him with Dallas last year, that was going to be a big signing after Dak got hurt. And he didn't do much. And I'll tell you this, he had a heck of an offense, especially on the outside there with those weapons. And look, Harry here, good. Now he's a Packers fan, I guess. What do you expect from McGrader?
Hey, look at his name. You know what I mean? That's all he does.
Now, next one, obviously, NFC South. Obviously, you got to go with the Bucs, a team that's coming off a Super Bowl win, obviously returning all 22 starters. I don't see how you don't go with the Bucs. One thing I will say, everybody thinks this is going to be a down year from the Saints, and I do think they're not going to be as good as last year. But if Peyton can cover up the mistakes from Winston, if you can cover up some of those interceptions, look, he's going to be able to throw the ball down the field a lot better than Drew Brees did, and it's going to be about. I don't know. We know when Michael Thomas. That's still a big question mark, right? When he's going to play.
No, he's on the IR. He has to stay out 6 games.
Okay.
He won't be able to return because they have a bye week. I think week 6 or week 7, so he won't be able to return at the earliest until week 8. So, but he's going to be eased into the fray. I mean, he's got a new quarterback. Who knows how he's going to be after the injury. We'll see.
What's up, other professor?
Yeah, what's up, Professor? And Jen said for the Packers, not Harry.
Okay, now we're on the
what's
train.
Up, Jenny?
Go Pack. Jenny Matt,
Okay.
What's up, baby?
Yeah, but no, obviously I got the Bucks. But you know what? I think the South, I think the Panthers are going to be better this year. With Darnold and Rule in year 2.
Mm-hmm.
Stizz is number 1 pick. McCaffrey, he's back. That offense is going to be better. They drafted a bunch of guys on defense. And obviously the Falcons. I like Arthur Smith, the head coach. I question the defense, but I do think that offense is going to be really good. But I'm going to go, obviously, Bucks winning the division, Saints second place. And I guess you guys both agree with Bucks obviously winning the division.
Yeah.
No brainer. Not too much to talk about. TB12, we see what he did Thursday night, and he's going to keep on doing it the rest of the year.
Now, this is the one that's crazy to me. The hardest division in football, the best division in football, and probably obviously the hardest to pick. That NFC West, man, is loaded. I mean, I think you have 4 teams that are potential playoff teams. I think if you took any 4 of these teams and put them in other divisions, they might be the best team in the division, especially, the NFC East or the AFC South possibly. That's how deep this division is. And it's been tough for me going through all of them. The Niners, obviously, you're healthy this year. Team, 2 years removed from the Super Bowl. But I don't like the quarterback situation with the Niners. Right. We said earlier, Coach, if you have 2 quarterbacks, you have no quarterbacks. I don't like that dynamic. I'm going to go with the Rams. I just think Stafford coming in there. Let's not forget, too, people, you did lose Josh Johnson on defense, but they also got Leonard Floyd to add to that pass rush that already has Aaron Donald, who had 10.5 sacks last year with the Bears. And I do think Stafford's going to be an upgrade over Goff. They added Deshaun Jackson, who, if he can stay healthy with Rams and McVay, is going to help, which I know is that's a big question.
Week 1, 75-yard touchdown, out for the year after that.
Out for the year. I mean, that's a big question. But still, Cam Akers' injury will hurt. But I just think that Rams defense – now with an upgraded offense, I like the Rams to win the division, and I'm going to go Seahawks second place, Niners third, Cardinals fourth. Who do you guys like in the NFC West?
Yeah, I have it just the way you have it there, Nick, except I really think it is a 2-team race because, again, I don't like that quarterback issue with the 49ers, but I think Seattle and LA, it's going to come down to the Rams and which one. I think they both are a playoff team. They both make the playoffs, but it's going to come down to the end of the season to see who gets that division.
I'm on the train as well, fellas. I'm with the Rams. I think with that addition of Matt Stafford, that's really going to put them over the hump. Rams defense ranked number 1 in fantasy this year. They're stout. They're stout. So I think even with the Cam Akers injury, which is tough because I was really looking forward to him in his second year. He really ramped up at the end of the last year, and I was really looking forward to him. It's unfortunate, but I think they're going to move forward. And with Matt Stafford, behind center, I think they'll be all right, and they win this division.
Perfect. Now, for me, NFC-wise, obviously, I have Cowboys winning the NFC East. We said the Packers, Bucks, and then Rams. My other 3 playoff teams, I'm going to go the Niners, and the Seahawks will be second place, but the Seahawks, the Niners, and then I think the Saints are going to make the playoffs. So that'll be my 7 teams. I just not in love with the NFC North, and then the NFC East. If the Saints don't, unless the Saints do have that year, if I could remove them, I would go Redskins. But yeah, that's going to be my 7. I think the Saints still have a very good roster, and I think they're not going to take as big a step back as people think. So yeah, my wild card teams will be the Seahawks, Niners, and the Saints. On to the AFC, which is the AFC East. Going to be very interesting this year. It's completely different than last year. Obviously, Patriots made a lot of moves. Dolphins kind of got themselves on the block last year. But I'm going to go. How can't you go with the Bills after how they looked last year? I do still have some question marks about that defense, and I do wish one of the huge just question marks to me when you talk about off seasons is how the Bills didn't address the running back situation and even the tight end situation. Yeah. But man, like Josh Allen, they were asking to do too much last year. But I still think, man, Josh Allen's going to take another step. Possible MVP. Diggs and him were great last year. I think the Bills are one of the best teams in the league. So I have the Bills winning the division, Patriots in second place, Dolphins in third, Jets in fourth. Coach, who do you got?
Yeah, I do. I just think the Patriots are going to be a lot, even though rookie quarterback, remember, almost all their defense opted out last year. So you have that whole defense coming back. That's a Super Bowl caliber defense.
Yeah.
So I really think the Patriots are going to be a lot better. I still give the division to Buffalo, but I think the Patriots are a playoff team.
Yeah.
Listen, nobody circles the wagon like the Buffalo Bills. I mean, how do you go against them, man? We talked about it. Coach just mentioned, or Nevada Nick just mentioned also that, they didn't fix the tight end. They didn't fix the running back. I just don't understand why. Even if they got Zach Ertz, I thought that would have been an upgrade over what they have now. Also Cox, I forget who their backup tight end is. And the running game, Josh Allen is their top rusher last year. You got your quarterback, kind of like Lamar Jackson, as your top rusher. Right. I don't know. I don't like that scheme too much. You know what I mean? You don't want your running back rushing all over the place for fear of injury, Yeah. So, yeah, Buffalo Bills should, I don't want to say run away with the division because I think Miami, I think coaches Patriots may give them, a little bit of run for their money. But, yeah, I got Buffalo.
All right, on to the NFC North and the AFC North. This one, and I liked this 2 months ago. I gave this out on one of the shows. And now, obviously, with the recent developments of the Ravens, and think about this, guys. You already have J.K. Dobbins hurt, and I believe it was their third string running back after the season. And doesn't your backup running back for the Ravens name Stizz? I'm drawing a blank on his name.
Justice Hill was your third string running back.
Okay.
Gus Edwards was your guy that took the place of J.K. Dobbins, and he's out for the season.
So Gus Edwards tears his ACL, and then on the next play, their starting corner, Marcus Peters, tears his ACL. I wasn't high on the Ravens as it was. People forget they lost Matthew Judon last year. They trade away Orlando Brown Jr. to the Chiefs. Ronnie Stanley is coming back from injury, but still, it takes time when you're a big boy like that to come back from a torn ACL. So now tonight, you're going to, or Monday night, you're going to have a running back who's starting who's never carried the football. I do think Latavius Murray will, what's up, Vicky? I do think Latavius Murray, will factor in more here, but he just got signed.
And Le'Veon Bell is also there on their practice squad, so I'm sure he'll get some touches.
Yeah, but I got the Browns winning the division. I just think this is their division to lose. I think they are by far, of course, Vicky, with the Raiders. I think the Browns by far are the best team in the division. I think the Ravens with that injuries. And I love the Steelers defense, I just don't trust Big Ben or that offensive line. So I'm going Browns. Run away with this division. I just think they're the best team. Who do you got, Coach?
I don't know that they run away with it. I like the Browns as well, but I still think the Ravens are going to make the playoffs. They're going to right the ship with the running back and get that going. Because honestly, Lamar Jackson can throw the football. I know everybody says he can't. He can. You're going to see it a little bit more early on in the season until they fix this running back thing. He's going to throw the football, and the Ravens will be there. It's not going to be a runaway, but it'll be close. But I believe the Browns, then the Ravens. And I like you. I think Ben is probably 2 years past retirement, and I just don't see him being able to carry that football team.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Baltimore, number one rushing team in the league. They lose three main guys, and it's just a shame. They bring in rookie and Tyson Williams, and they bring in two guys, from the old folks home. I guess we call them veterans nowadays. And Le'Veon Bell and Latavius Murray. We'll see what they bring to the table. I mean, like I said, they're a number one rush team for a reason. They're going to run the ball. Who knows? We'll see what happens with the quarterback situation. We'll see if he could throw as good as coach is saying. But I got the Cleveland Browns. I think their rushing attack, their two-headed monster is just going to take over that division, and I think it's the Cleveland Browns division to lose.
Okay. On to the AFC South, where I think you have a great battle between two teams and then two teams that are going to stink. I'm going to go with the Colts. I think they obviously have the best roster. I think Wentz is going to have, a better year. I really do. I think.
Look, you're always saying that because you want the number one draft pick. You want
the Eagles no more.
Right, but you want the draft pick because if he has a good season, your draft pick goes from a 2 to a 1. That's it.
All right. Well, no, but I think the Colts have the best.
The guy
roster.
stinks.
All right,
end of story.
All right. I think the Colts have the best roster in the AFC South. I do. Now, I don't like that T.Y. Hilton's hurt. Me and Stizz both said the Colts should go get him a receiver. Obviously. But I do got the Colts winning the division. I got the Titans in second, Jags in third, and then I think the worst team in football, gonna fight for 0-17 this year. Yeah, I think the Texans are going to be terrible.
I agree with the Texans being terrible, but if you looked at their schedule, they play a lot of teams who have a rivalry big game the following week. Listen, nope, they're going to catch a couple of teams overlooking them, and they will win a couple of football games. Okay, I'm not saying they're going to go win 10 games now, but they're going to win 2 or 3 of those games, and they're going to have a 3-win season.
All right, genius. Who do you got winning the division?
I have Tennessee winning the division. Okay, because Carson Wentz stinks. Again, Carson Wentz stinks. And
I take him over Danny Dimes. I'll say that.
No, that I wouldn't do.
God.
Come on. He couldn't make it in Philly. You think he was going to make it in New York? Forget about it.
Go to the nearest CVS and get a drug test. Who do you got?
And they're open right now, too, actually. Yeah. Pharmacy's open. I'll tell you, I think Houston actually starts off with the first win.
You're wrong.
I think Houston gets their first win today against Jacksonville, to be honest with you.
Wow.
Now I think they go 1-17 for the year. I'm going to have to agree with Coach here. I don't want to, but what am I going to do? Sometimes coach is right.
Hey, let me quote Billy. Hey, a broken clock is right twice a day. Come on now.
And the sun shines on the dog's ass every now and then. You know what I mean? So I think it's going to be a close one, to be honest with you. And I'm going to go with the Tennessee Titans. I think the safe play at quarterback. I think adding Julio Jones is going to help. So I think they have a nice sound team, and with Derrick Henry, the 2,000-yard rusher from last year, I think it's a safe play, but I think it's going to be a real close battle with the Indianapolis Colts. barring a Carson Wentz, injury. We'll see what happens. But I got Tennessee winning the division.
Okay, now on to the AFC West. I think we're all going to obviously go the same here.
The Raiders?
Yeah. Vicky, I love you. I do.
Love you, Vicky.
But Vicky, love you. Vicky's the best. But no, I'm going with the Chiefs. I do have questions about the Chiefs defense. I do. I think, but that offense is the best offense in football and even better this year. I mean, you go get Orlando Brown, who's a Pro Bowl tackle, I think he's under 25 as well. And you add Joe Tooney, and you bring in Kyle Long out of retirement. And they also drafted Creed Humphreys from Oklahoma. So that line's revamped. You got the best weapons in football. Obviously, Clyde Edwards-Helaire in year 2. Stizz, quick question. Damian Williams, is he on the team this year or did he move? He's back, right?
Damian Williams, I think, went to Chicago because there was 2 Williams. There was a Darrell Williams and there was a Damian Williams. Mm-hmm. I want to say Darrell Williams stayed and Damian Williams, I thought, went to maybe Chicago.
Right.
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah. But I'm going with the Chiefs winning the AFC West. Coach?
Yeah, I agree with that. And I'm sorry, Vicky, but I just don't think the Raiders did enough to keep up with everybody else. I think, you've got, I want to say San Diego, but the LA Chargers, who look really good. The new coach, we'll see how that plays out today against Washington. And again, the Broncos against the Giants today with their pass rush. But we'll see.
It's an easy
one. What's up, TJ?
It's an easy one. The Chiefs all the way. I mean, they're just too loaded on offense.
Right.
I would really honestly like to see the Chargers do something this year. I mean, how many games, Nick, did they lose by last year by 3 points or less? Right. Especially when they were leading the game.
And how many leads did they blow?
Right.
Yeah.
So they could have been right in the run there, but I think the Chiefs, are the king of this whole division, to be honest with you.
Right.
And, I'm going Kansas City.
Yeah. And, Vicky, to talk about the Raiders quick, one thing I'm surprised about, Mayock says we need to make the playoffs. John Gruden says, I don't feel the pressure. If you're going into year 4,
you better.
If you're going into year 4 as a head coach and you haven't made the playoffs and you say I don't feel the pressure, there's a problem. And the problem is the 10-year contract.
Yep.
And you know what's going to happen? If the Raiders don't make the playoff this year, Mike Mayock's going to lose his job. He's going to be the scapegoat. And I liked some of the moves the Raiders made defensively. If Gus Bradley can get that defense playing better, but my questions are on the offensive line. I think that offense is going to take a dip. You lose Aguilar, you're expecting Ruggs to be the replacement. Right. You revamp the whole offensive line. I think they're going to have line issues. I think the defense will be better, but I think the offense is going to dip. I'm not in love with Gruden. Coach has always said he's right. Horrible halftime adjustments.
Yeah,
spot on about that. So
Vicky agrees.
Yeah,
Vicky agrees with the thumbs down on Gruden.
That's one thing Vicky will agree with.
He's 18 games under 500 since winning a Super Bowl.
Yeah. Yeah, I know, and he won that Super Bowl.
That's right, go Giants, baby.
He won that Super Bowl, and
with somebody else's team.
Tony
Dungy's players. Come
right, exactly. So, and really, since then, he's been not a good coach. I mean, and a worse talent evaluator and GM. So, all right, guys, we got all our division winners. And AFC real quick. I'm going to go with my playoffs teams being the Titans, the Patriots, and I'm going to go – I like the Chargers. I know every year we all think this is going to be the Chargers year, but I like Staley coming in, Derwin James back. I think he's going to get that defense playing well. I don't think Herbert's going to have the year he had last year, but he's still going to – Herbert is a stud. I'd give him that contract extension right now. He's that kind of player, that kind of guy. Yeah, but, that's where I land in the AFC. Now we get into NFC, AFC Championship. and our Super Bowl pick. And I'll tell you this year, obviously the Bucs and the Chiefs are the hot picks. And I do think when you look at it week one, how can't you say the Bucs are the best team in the NFC and the Chiefs are the best team in the AFC? I mean, you have to. But things happen over the season. I have big questions about that Chiefs defense. I'm going to go Rams, Packers, NFC Championship. Okay. Wow. And I'm going to go Packers winning. Okay. I'm going to go Chiefs, Browns, AFC Championship with the Browns winning.
Wow.
And making the Super Bowl. And I'm going to go Packers, Browns, Packers winning the Super Bowl.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
I like it.
Okay. Coach, who do you got? I think he's thinking in his head. That's why I said wow so many times.
Yeah.
No, I can see that, but I mean, if I'm going to go if I'm going with Cleveland, because I don't think they're going to face a pass rush like that. I don't think Green Bay can handle a pass rush like the Browns, but that's just me. I mean,
Joe, I'll have my picks in a little bit, buddy.
Yes, hang tight.
Yeah,
the show works. We want you to hear us bullshit the whole time, so then you get to the thing.
No, Coach, NFC Championship. Come on, Coach. What do you got? Coach, who's your Super Bowl and your AFC NFC Championship?
NFC. I think it's going to be Seattle and Tampa.
Okay.
Seattle and Tampa, and I think Seattle takes it this year. I think Seattle goes. Seattle represents the NFC. The AFC, I think it's the Bills. The Bills and the Browns. I think the Bills do it, and it's the Bills in the Super Bowl with Seattle.
And who wins?
I think the Bills finally bring one home.
Wow. Okay.
Like it.
Stizz, what do you got, buddy?
Listen, I'm taking the vegetables and the sides and pushing them aside. I'm going right to the meat and potatoes. I'm not going to go through the playoff scenario. I'm just going to give you the Super Bowl.
Right, there you go.
I got a rematch of last year, fellas. I got Kansas City and the Bucs, but caveat with Buffalo and the Packers right on their heels in both divisions. Right. But I'm going to go with a rematch, Kansas City, Bucs. And listen, if that's the matchup, you're not going to see Kansas City not score a touchdown in this Super Bowl. You can believe that. Okay, I think they're going to come prepared, and I think Kansas City gets it this year.
Now, Coach, you got a Giants jersey on. And Stizz, I agree with you. I think they are the two best teams. I just have a feeling, look, Chiefs are going to try to make it to the third straight Super Bowl, that's a tall task. It doesn't happen a lot. I don't know the last time it's happened. I really don't. It might be the Bills. I'd have to look into it because I know the Patriots won 3 and 4, but after they won their first one, they didn't make the playoffs the next year. So it wasn't 3. They didn't make the 3 straight Super Bowls. So it's been a long time since a team's been to 3 straight Super Bowls, and it might be the Bills. I do think they're the best teams. I don't know why. I don't know. I just got a feeling, and I love Brady. I do think the Bucs are the best roster in football. Yeah. It's the GOAT. I just have a feeling that, and look, it was tough for me to pick the Super Bowl because I really like the Browns. I do. Bills, I have questions on the defense, but yeah, I said, you know what? I'm going to go with the Packers. I think Aaron's going to have a huge year, and imagine that if he gets the Super Bowl, and now Bills bring back Scott Norwood. And can you imagine if they won the Super Bowl and then, now he wants to leave? What happens then, man? So that'll be interesting. Look, can't wait. And as crazy as it sounds, you guys know we'll be there quicker than you think. It always happens when we're like, oh my God, guys, here we are. We're in the Super Bowl already. So, okay, Stizz, let's get to your fantasy advice for today. What do you got for us?
So I had a couple sleepers actually on Tuesday going into the season, and you could still chalk these guys up. You can still pick them up possibly on waiver wires. They may not be week 1 starts, but these are guys that I would stash away for the future. My number 1 guy is Marquez Callaway from New Orleans Saints wide receiver. Listen, man, famous Jameis chucking the ball all over the place. No fear famous. listen, Callaway had a great preseason. I think he's going to be really, let's say, his number 2 target behind Kamara, but he's going to be your number 1 receiver on the field. I like him. If he's available, pick him up now. Maybe stash him until at least week 2 and see what happens. Running back, New England Patriots. We talked about him a little bit earlier. Ramondre Stevenson. Damian Harris goes down, man. He's your guy. He's a rookie this year. He had a great preseason as well. I know it's hard to put too much stock in the preseason, but you got to put something into it. And he's getting the rock. We know Bill, he'll ride the hot hand. So, look, if Stevenson breaks out and actually does better than Damian Harris, you might see him in the starting role. Last sleeper, I'm going to go with a receiver. Now, he's 3rd in the pecking order in the Carolina Panthers. His name's Terrace Marshall Jr. He's a rookie this year. Another great preseason, tall, real quick, wide out. He might be playing the slot. He's behind Robbie Anderson. He's behind DJ Moore. But I think he's going to get some love this year. He's going to be my 3rd guy. Maybe throw him in the on the bench for a little bit. 2 running back positions and flex and people like Gibson, Carson, Montgomery, Ayuk, and Debo. Man, Montgomery, Brad, what's going on, man? Thanks for watching. Man, Montgomery was my guy last year. He's got a tall task Sunday night, man, against the LA Rams. It's going to be a tough one. Gibson, for sure. Man, Debo. I'm going Gibson, and I'm going Chris Carson as my 2 I would start, and a flex, 2 running back. So, and a flex, I'm going to go Ayuk. It's a coin flip really between Ayuk and Debo today, but I'm going to go with Brandon Ayuk. Yeah, and I'm going to leave Montgomery on my bench that I don't want to do because he's just so talented. But we're gonna get by week 1 with this tough defense, and we'll go to next week.
Yeah. And you're talking about the fantasy football champ there, Brad, and the prop bet guru. 2-time fantasy champ last year. Look at him, 34-10 prop bet champ last year. Already off this year. You know what? I thought I said Stizz isn't going to be able to replicate what he did last year. Well, he's already 100% now.
And I did.
He told me he's sweeping the board this year. Any more fantasy stuff, this?
Easy money. Yeah. So I'll give you a star to sit.
Okay, good.
I'm going to start Najee Harris today. Okay, he's your bell cow. Listen, the Bills. We talked about a suspect defense. They allowed nearly 100 rush yards a game last year. Okay, this guy's going to be a 3-down back. I don't see anybody taking over for him. I know we talked about him in the fantasy drafts. We were taking him real high, mid-second round. And the reason why is because he's a bell cow, and there's not many bell cow running backs out there in fantasy, unfortunately. The Bills allowed 1+ touchdown in 12 to 16 games last year, too. So, and he catches the ball. So he was the most targeted player in preseason this preseason that we just had. So I'm going Najee Harris, put him in your starting lineup. My sit, coach might not like this, but it's almost like a wait and see approach because I'm a little nervous. He's your first round pick, fellas, either end of first round or beginning of second round, and he dropped big time because of this ACL injury. But I'm sitting Saquon Barkley. I'm thinking, to be honest with you, if you drafted Saquon Barkley, no matter where you had him at, if you had him in the first round, early second round, I'm hoping, guys, you had a backup plan. You know what I mean? I'm hoping you really came up with a plan and drafted a couple more running backs to start just in case. Coach said he's ready to go week 1, and he is. How many reps is he going to get?
I agree. I think he's going to get minimal reps in the game. So I agree with that, Stizz.
So not only are you nervous about the injury he's coming off of, but how much work is he going to get to really warrant, a number 1 running back start this week? And he's going against a semi-tough, Denver defense.
Yeah.
So, that's my starts and sits. Gave you my sleepers.
All right, Stizz, real quick question, and then we'll get into my picks. Latavius Murray, I think a good running back. I thought he played well in the Saints. Obviously you're in the shadow of Kamara, but the Ravens have had the number 1 rushing team in football the last, I think, 3 years. Is Latavius Murray a guy you would maybe stash and put on your bench, if you're deep at the running back position.
Yeah. I mean, I would pick him up and stash him. I mean, we've seen what he did behind Alvin Kamara, like you're saying, and
Right.
he's going to the number one rush offense in the league. So I mean, it's set up for him. They're going to start this kid Tyson Williams,
Right.
But he's a rookie. I mean,
Right.
so what are you going to expect from him? And don't forget you got Lamar Jackson. I mean, stealing touches, and stealing goal line plays, all over the place.
Right.
I'm taking Murray, Brian, over Bell.
Me too. I think Bell's best days are behind him.
I think I agree. I think so as well.
I don't agree with them, Brian. I'm going with Bell.
Okay.
I mean, we'll see. It's going to be a toss-up. We'll really have to wait and see, what that whole trio does this year, and we'll see how it factors in. But, yeah, I'm grabbing Latavius Murray as well as most people did in my 3 leagues I'm in. They snatched him up a couple days ago, when the news came out. So better to be safe than sorry. Stash him on your bench. You may be able to use him in a bye week.
Okay. All right. Now, obviously.
Wait. Don't you want coaches' picks?
Okay. Well, what coaches?
I mean, don't you want mine first? I mean, shouldn't I be first?
Well, yeah. Coach, we'll take your. This is all right. This is coaches wants to give a prop bet. Go ahead, Coach. What's your prop bet?
I wasn't giving that one out, but I'll give it out now since you put it up there.
Okay, good. Sorry.
All right, yeah. Hey, look, if you're going to go down, I'm in Atlantic City. I already put this down. I took the Raiders and the under. They're not winning more than 6 games this year.
Stizz agrees with you. So
John Gruden can't win more than 6 games. He just can't do it. It's easy money. Easy.
Okay. All right,
Coach.
Now, do you want my other one? My other props?
Well, wait. What's your other prop? Not your. We're gonna do locks of the week at the end. Is that what you're talking about?
All right.
That's not a prop, Coach. That's a lock.
No, I have a couple of props today too.
Okay, you
Carolina?
only gave me one.
Yeah.
You had to tell them to me. Oh yeah. Go ahead, say that. Well, that's not
Go
really.
ahead.
Go the other.
It isn't really.
I didn't write a counter for it, but what's your other prop? Go ahead, Coach.
It's Sam Darnold and the over. Sam Darnold in the yards and over, touchdowns and over. Robbie Anderson, yards, touchdowns, over. Take the over. Easy money.
So everybody now, if you heard, bet over on the Raiders for wins and under on Sam Darnold and yards and touchdowns. So there's the coach's pick. Now, on to the real experts now. Nevada Nick, look.
Well, that's what I figured. You want mine first, and then
after you go 34-10, I'm going to open for Stizz now. We're going to end with Stizz.
Love it.
Man, when you go 34-10 now, Stizz is officially taking my job. All right. This is my best bet this week in the game I like the most. I like the Patriots -3. I really do. You bring in Matthew Judon to that defense. Dante Hightower is back from COVID. There's another guy coming back off COVID too. I understand Stephon Gilmore isn't playing, but still, you bring in Jonnu Smith, you bring in Hunter Henry, you bring in Trent Brown. And a big thing too, Tua never played a true road game last year. He never played a true road game.
Right.
You're going to New England. Bill Belichick, we know how he is against rookie, QBs. Obviously, I know he's a second year, but still, Bill Belichick tears up young quarterbacks. Tua on the road. And I also do question the whole Tua not getting voted a captain. That's very odd, and I wonder if that team telling you they don't believe he's the guy. And anytime your coach has to come out and say he's our guy, he usually isn't. And
right.
Think about all the times the teams have come out and said he's our guy. It usually ends up he's not the guy.
Right.
So we'll see with Tua. Love the Patriots -3 today. That's my best bet. Like I said, love the Patriots. I think they're going to win by a touchdown. And that's against, you guys know, I love the Dolphins last year. But I like the Patriots today. That's my best bet. Then I'm going to go to the Redskins -1.5. I do like the Chargers this year. But once again, Herbert, another guy, didn't play any true road games last year. They have a revamped offensive line going against, as Coach said earlier, the best defensive line in football. And the Chargers, look, let's be honest, notorious for bad starts. It seems like every year they're 0-4 or 1-4 and coming down the stretch. That's what happens all the time. So, I'm going to go Redskins -1.5. And then, I like Carolina -4 against the Jets. You got Darnold, revenge, which I think is big. But you got an experienced quarterback against Zach Wilson, who's getting his first start. Carl Lawson, their big free agent signing for the Jets, he's out. Vinny Curry, he's out. Jared Davis for the Jets, he's out. I like Carolina today. Stizz's #1 pick. Christian McCaffrey, he's back. I love Matt Rule in year 2. Don't forget, the Panthers had a nice start last year. I think they're a good young team, and they're going to be a spoiler this year. I think they're going to, I really like the Panthers. I love the Panthers -4 today. And then my last bet, I'm going to give you a sucker bet, but I love them. I love manipulating points. I'm going to give you a 2-team teaser. This is my tease of the week. I'm going to go Rams -2 at home on Sunday Night Football against the Bears. I just see that defense shutting down Andy Dalton and the Bears defense, and let's see what Stafford can do. Love the Rams -2. And then I'm going to go Niners -2 on the road at Detroit. I think the Niners are going to be able to run the ball and, start the season off 1-0. So 2-team teaser for you, Rams -2, Niners -2. Now, obviously, we got to roll a Stizz and give out Stizz's prop bet.
You want my week 1 lock first, or you want the prop?
Okay, Stizz, we will go with. You want to do your yearly props or your prop bet of the week first?
Whatever you want. You tell me.
All right, well, okay, we'll do your prop bet of the week first. All right, we'll do that. Go ahead, Stizz, your prop bet of the week.
So I got James Robinson, running back for Jacksonville.
Okay.
He's going against our 1-17 Houston Texans. The worst rushing defense in the league in 2020. Robinson ended up with, I believe, like 960, 980 rushing yards last year, an undrafted rookie. Looked great. With Travis Etienne coming in, maybe a little nervous, put James Robinson in the back of the pecking order a little bit. But now with the injury, it's James Robinson all the way. I'm not scared of Carlos Hyde there. I think 65.5 is actually a very low total. I'm hoping it's not too low. I mean, it seemed way too easy for me, but man, I'm banging this over as my prop bet. Week 1.5, we'll say, right, since I had my first bet on Thursday night as a winner. So let's try to get to 2-0 and stay at 100%, Nevada.
Okay. Now, Stizz, you had 2 yearly prop bets you wanted to give out too.
Yep.
You want to talk about those?
Yeah, so I put them in, man, probably about 3 weeks ago or so. I got Zeke, even after, we were going to give this out on Tuesday night, but it was a little bit too early. But even with the poor performance, I'm not worried about it. I got Zeke over 11.5 total touchdowns. That's receiving and rushing. I don't see, any reason he doesn't get 2 or 3 in the air, which would leave him 9 on the ground. That should be easy. I mean, they're not going to be playing Tampa Bay's defense every week, and they're going to give Zeke the rock. I'm a little bit nervous about Tony Pollard. I mean, the kid looks good, so I'm hoping he doesn't take too many away from him, but 11.5 total seems seamless. We're going with Zeke this year. We're riding the coattails.
Okay, and then Stizz has one other yearly prop bet for everybody.
My second big one, we talked about him earlier, Matt Stafford going to the Rams. I mean, big improvement. Listen, he had 26 throwing passing touchdowns last year with Kenny Galladay, a banged up Kenny Galladay.
He missed a lot of time, yeah.
Missed some time, and just a putrid Detroit team. You know what I mean? So, he had 26 last year. What's he going to do this year? I mean, he should easily get 30. Right. So I'm going over 28.5 passing touchdowns now for the year.
And then a question for everybody. Stizz, 35-10, is he now the GOAT instead of Brady? I mean,
I believe so. I'm going yes. I'm going yes. I think it's going to be 100% on the poll here.
All right, guys, let's get into – we're going to do a thing this year we all talked about where each week we're all going to give a lock of the week with the point spread, and then one time during the year too, one of us will call that game our lock of the year. So we'll start off with Coach. Coach, who's your lock of the week?
My lock of the week is the Giants. I like the Giants today. At home, Denver doesn't play well heading to the East, and I'm just being a homer. I'm being a fan. I'd like to see the Giants start off 1-0.
Yeah, hey, you know what? There's nothing wrong with taking home dogs, too. Home dogs. And, one thing I will say, dogs usually bark. Me and Stizz have always talked about this. Yeah. Dogs usually bark in week one. They really do bark. Okay, my lock of the week, obviously I said, but Patriots were my best bet. I like the Patriots -3. That's my lock of the week. And we'll end on Stizz. Stizz, what is your lock of the week?
Tough week one, I'll tell you. But, I'm going with the Vikings. They're on the road at Cincinnati, and I'm going on pure talent, man. Running back, receivers, I think just outweigh that Cincinnati offense. Rookie Joe Burrow from last year, Jamar Chase, rookie this year. They got some young guys against the veteran Minnesota squad. I like Minnesota -3. I think it's a low line, and that's going to be my week one lock.
Okay. Now,
Wait, I got another yearly prop. Hold on. I got one more I want to give out.
Okay. All right. I'll get it to you, Coach. Yeah, real quick.
Quick?
No, but I was going to say, we'll get to it in a second.
All right, go ahead.
But, Stizz was talking. I'll tell you, me and Stizz are in a survivor pool. Tough week for survivor. I almost took the Bucks as one of my teams, and look at that game. They had to win at the very end.
Out of the wire,
and that would have took out a bunch of people. And obviously, I think that the good choice this week, the popular choices are going to be the Rams and the Niners. But still, man, how with the survivor pool is very tough and not easy to. Not an easy week one. I remember the one year me and Stizz, the survivor, the one Stizz runs, it was done by week 3. Now, Coach, go ahead. What's your prop bet?
I'm going to take Zeke and the over on fumbles.
Okay. Zeke fumbles and Zeke over on rushing yards.
No, over on the fumbles.
Oh, okay. For the yearly props. I'm sorry.
Yeah, yearly.
Oh, yeah. So Coach on the rushing yards, he's going to take.
No, I'm not on any rushing yards. I'm on over fumbles. He's going to have more than 8 fumbles this year.
Okay, that would make sense because Coach would find the goofiest prop bet you can find that I don't even know if they have. But yeah, if you can find Zeke fumbles on the year, bet over.
A lot of research.
Yeah, so Zeke probably won't fumble this year now. So.
High and tight, baby.
Yeah,
high and tight like my haircut.
That's great. Vicky, thanks for always great hearing from you, Vicky. Thanks for checking in. And I really for your sake, I hope the Raiders make the playoffs this year. But yeah, like I said, I have questions. I do like some things they've done. I like bringing in KJ Wright, but I'm a big offensive line guy. I don't like the moves. And Sammy obviously says not going to happen, as Sammy is a Cowgirls fan. So Sammy the Kush though. All right, guys, we got football on. It's 11:04, so we're 2 hours away to the first kickoff. It's Christmas morning here, obviously, for all of us. I love it. I know Stizz he's ready for me to get out of here so you can go check his fantasy football lineup and his bets today. I'm going to do the same thing. Brian, thanks for, we always love your comments. Brian, thanks for checking in.
Thank you, everyone.
Good to see you back. Out. Yeah. We appreciate everybody commenting, checking in. Hey, man, it's upon us. Another NFL season. Really excited. Can't wait. Eagles win today, baby. Anything you guys want to end with?
No, let's go Giants. Let's go. Have fun, everybody. Be safe, and we'll see you tomorrow night.
All right.
I'm gonna end with let's go to my 18 fantasy football leagues. Hopefully I get wins in a few of them. And just to say, thanks to everybody for tuning in. I mean, if you're on here, throw a comment up, man. Don't be scared. You know what I mean? We don't bite. We'll throw them up there. We might make fun of you. We might agree with you. Who cares? Throw something up there. I see people watching in here that probably haven't commented. Yeah. So throw it up there, man.
Yeah, we love the interaction, guys. Yeah.
We enjoy it, man. We enjoy interacting with everybody. So thanks for stopping by week 1. And let's make it a great season.
Yep.
All right, let's do it,
Coach will be on tomorrow. I don't know if Stizz will be on, but me and Coach will be on tomorrow. And we'll end with this. Giants suck. Thank Brian. I love where I'm in control, baby. I love it because I can just do whatever I want. Yeah, we'll see everybody tomorrow night to recap a big Sunday. And then obviously you will see all 3 of us back again for week 2 next Sunday at 10 a.m.
Absolutely.
Thanks,
All right.
everybody.
Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.